I'm Oh My God Tarot, and this. Oh, what is? Dropped a card. It's okay. I still have elasticity in my bag. So I've got it, Aries. And let's keep shuffling. Let me shuffle, let me shuffle, let me shuffle. Okay, let's cleanse the aura. Okay, so it's on Oh My God Tarot, and this is your someone secretly talking about you tarot card reading. Let's have a look at who's talking about you this time, and then we'll get to a tarot spread, see what's going on. If you'd like your own personal reading, please check out the description. There is a link to my website as well as a link to my Etsy shop where I sell candles. But here we go. Let's just dive in. Your first card is Taurus. Look at that. The energy around you shows the abundance of nature. It is rich, earthy, and productive, yet relaxed and slow. So this person is, if they have heavy Taurus traits, they're very protective. They're very conscious of their loved ones and covering them in a layer of protection, sheltering them. They're also very about their possessions, their home creature comforts or whatever, like their things. So they may have a prized possessions or like a car that they love so dearly that they'll sink a bunch of money into, or they're about them things, but they're also about that home life. Then we have Scorpio energy, and this energy is intense, masterful, thoughtful, and magnetically charming, but also secretive and possessive. Ain't that something? All right, and then we have Gemini energy, and this energy is communicative, mischievous, lively, witty, and informative. Stimulating exchange is possible. So we have 3 interesting signs, actually, one of each element minus fire. So there's a lack of hot-headery. Oh, you can't even see it. Let me fix that. Lack of hot-headery, like I was saying, which is a good thing. But I guess if we're going to have any hot-headery, it's going to come from Taurus, who is known to be very stubborn. So we also get, like, with this combination, a very, like, fixed energy where they're set in their ways, and that's with an exclamation point. This person's also very charming and charismatic when they want to be. So they're very calculated and persuasive when they want to be. So it's like they have a way with words, and then it's like it's more about convincing you to see things their way because they're set in their ways. So they may be able to talk themselves out of anything. So you may note that from this person. But listen, if somebody was talking about me and they had a way with words, I'd be like, go ahead, girl, go ahead, get down with the compliments. But if it's any other thing, and which it could be, because the stubbornness could go both ways, and Scorpio has been known to, if you're not loyal to them, they're very vengeful. If you're disloyal, very vengeful, and hold a grudge. So there is a loyalty element to that possessiveness and that connection with Scorpio. And again, the talking. We do the talking to manipulate. We do the talking to persuade. So let's have a look at what the tarot says. Right, your first card is the 8 of Pentacles. This may hit you in the workplace. Somebody who's normally recognized to be a hard worker and very singularly focused. 8 of Pentacles is talking about earth energy. So it's people who are in the routine of your daily life. Again, somebody at work, somebody at your local gym, somebody part of the lifestyle. The I desire you to be there is not there. It's just like you're just part of functionality in my life. But anyways, this really does speak to a focus on that work. So let's see where that goes. Then we have the Hanged Man, and that is your first major arcana card. This card is in reverse, so that gives us a little bit of skewing of the meaning, which typically represents waiting, hanging out in limbo until you can make a change. And usually that change comes from within, and shifting your perspective on things so that you can move forward. And I feel like when this card is in reverse, there's a little bit of absence of that. There's a little bit of like not noticing that your perspective hasn't changed on things. So this person may be someone who's very singularly focused on their perspective, and their perspective has not changed, and it's just not I'm wondering if like you're holding yourself in a place for like purposefully you refuse to move on. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, which is interesting. So I'm wondering if there's like this thing that should have been, could have been, would have been successful and happy, and it could have worked out and it could have been great, but it didn't work out. I wonder if that's the thing that this person hasn't moved past. And obviously you would be involved in that, but I think that even more than just you would have been involved with that. There may have been an opportunity that fell through, delayed, something just altered, something affected by it. But look at us heading in this Pentacles based energy. Oh my god, more 10 energy, more 10 energy. And you know what's funny, when I pulled the 8 of Pentacles, I was thinking like, is that 10? Is that 10 of Pentacles? The 10 of Pentacles came up later. Now we have the 10 of Swords. So I'm thinking of the whole completion of the cycle. You may go through this cycle with this person often. You know, the 10 is like, what else is new? 10 showing up. Cycle of completion. These cards being in reverse. It's just kind of like, we're going to get to the same conclusion come hell or high water about this person. And it's that, yes, maybe every time they talk about you and you find out, it hurts, but maybe you just are realizing the cycle of it all. That's what they do. You're just a man, that's what you do, or you're just a Pokemon, whatever the heck this person is. 4 of Pentacles, we see holding back, we see reservation, and that's to be understood. I'm wondering if this person has some sort of judgment and over how you execute your plans. Maybe you're the type to be like, well, I'm gonna do this, and they're the type to be like, oh no, you won't. Last time you said you were gonna do this, you didn't do it. The time before that, you said you were gonna do it, you didn't do it. So I'm very pessimistic when it comes to you and your plans. All right, because you be waiting out here in these streets and waiting for, and you've been letting every inconvenience become an excuse for not going ahead with your plans. So that might even start with you, right? Like plans that you've been talking about with other people. You know, if you say it to these people more than once or over a span of time, they may grow skeptical behind your back. They may have a thing or two to say about your intentions, because they know. Been down the cycles before. We have the 4 of Pentacles. They may be very reserved about their thoughts, their opinions. And I feel like this looks like more of a coworker type thing. Somebody who has a judgment about you, or just something that they are just like, I've seen the proofs, you're not going to do that. Very skeptical of you and what your plans are. It's one of those. One of those is only here kind of for the gossip, so it doesn't even really matter. Taurus, Scorpio, yeah, kind of bossy. There's a little bossy and possessiveness energy in that, but that might be all it is possessiveness of you. Like, you know, what if you have aspirations of leaving the department, moving onward, upward, and they're like, you're not gonna do that. They might be holding you back, and this might be the validation you need to be like, yeah, they're not gonna say it to my face, but they're trying to hold me back. They're trying to play it down. They're trying to, you know, not let me see whatever it is I need to see, what perspective I need to see in order to move forward. They want me to hold still. They want to hold me back, and they want it to be a bloody end. They want it to be a bitter end before it ends. 10 of Swords. You gotta acknowledge that 10 of Swords. It's not a cute ending. It's a very loud and destructive ending. And it almost feels like a betrayal of an ending. And it might even feel, again, there's a disloyalty thing that we have on the table with Scorpio, and the possessiveness that we have with Taurus. So it's almost giving, you guys see how it's evolving, and it's almost giving like a kind of a controlling boss who they don't want to pay you more, but they don't want you to leave. If you try to leave, if they catch you looking, they're not the type of boss to be like, yeah, I'll give you a reference. They're the ones who will be salty, bitter, jaded. They want loyalty. I think there's some, like, you know, they don't want you to see that they can give you more, or they can do more, or whatever the heck. They want you to kind of hold still and not really change your perspective on things. And also very mum's the word about your value, since we're going to go all in reverse when we're doing our Pentacles here with the 10 and the 4. 10 4 over, you know, we know. I feel like if some of you guys were seeking that type of validation, is this person or this company or these people around me ever going to value me to the degree that I feel intuitively, instinctually, that I deserve, whether that's work culture treatment, or that is financial compensation, monetary compensation. I just feel like they're gonna maybe even lowball, but yeah, lowball the value that you have have people talking about you, and that may give you a little bit of an obstacle, which sucks. I feel like there's something that, you know, this person, I feel like someone's just like holding you back from getting to where you need to be, because they like It might even be because they like you. Because we don't have any betrayal signs. We don't have any, like, well, we do have a betrayal sign, but we don't have any, like, tower. Like, there's no big moment kind of thing. It's just, like, the energy is, we're successful with you. We don't want you to leave. But you would be successful beyond us. So, this almost feels like a betrayal. It's like, all of this I've done for you, and you guys betray me by holding me back or whatever in the hay. It doesn't feel like growing together. It feels like holding somebody back from potentially their success, their goals. That's what they out here trying to do. That's what they finna do. Yeah, finna. Four of Pentacles. They're not gonna mention it. They're not gonna say it out loud. Gonna be very reserved and hold their cards close to themselves. So don't expect anyone to admit that. But you know, after the 13th year of working somewhere, if they don't promote you in any way, then they're just like, no, you're doing a great job. But I've been in the mailroom for 25 years. Please, can I just be a senior mailman at least? We don't actually have a position like that, but you're doing a great job. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, carry on. You know? It's like, come on now. That's what it's giving, anyway. All right, so there it is. That is your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment, share the video, and if you like your own personal reading, check out the description and the link. The link in the description. It was going so well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.